What is going on, everybody? It is Aaron Cates and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be testing out I know a very common theory. People say tuning gas trucks doesn't make a difference, and I personally know that it does. I originally tuned this truck for 35s, 22 by 14s and 456 gears. Now when I originally tuned it, I tuned it before I had the gears, and I mean just with stock gearing on the 35s and it being tuned to the 35s and just a simple base 87 octane tune, it made a massive difference. I mean, made a whole world of change. Like, my truck wouldn't even spin tires before, not even on a wet road wouldn't even spin tires, and after I tuned it and put in the right tire size, it made a world of difference where it would then spin tires. So I know it makes a difference even when you have stock gears. Then I went to bigger gears and I tuned it to the gears so it would correct my speed and my gear ratio, and it woke the truck up. This truck came alive. Now I'm on 37s and the truck is still tuned for 35s, and I've also been running 93 octane in the truck, and I want to tune it to 93. I figured, what a better way today. I'll put the base tune back on the truck so we can drive it with 456s and 37s with the base tune on the truck, and then we'll put a tune on it for 93, for 37s, for 456s, and see what type of difference it makes. Honestly, I don't even know if I can drive the truck without it being tuned on 456s. I've never even driven it without the tune on it. It's going to be a learning experience for me, yes. It's also going to be a learning experience for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull the whole dash apart because I have to unhook my radio to use my tuner. I'll explain to you guys what tuner I'm using. It'll be linked down below. This is not a sponsored video. I paid for that tuner with my own money. I'm not sponsored by Diablo Sport in any way whatsoever. So don't think that this is just some hoax video where I'm like, you need to go buy this tuner because it's going to wake your truck up and it doesn't actually do anything. This is 100% genuine. I bought that tuner with my own money. I'm not affiliated with Diablo Sport in any way whatsoever. So don't think that I'm recommending this tuner to you because they paid me to say this. I'm recommending this tuner to you because it actually does what it says it's going to do. It wakes the truck up and helps your gas mileage. We'll go in, we'll get everything pulled apart. You have to unhook your radio and anything that's aftermarket that could affect with the tune. I know you have to unplug the entire radio, but I'll show you guys how to do it. That way, if you have a truck like mine, a 99 to 06 body style, should be just about all the same. You guys can kind of see what you need to do. Okay, well, hopefully you guys can see the dash enough. But what you need to do is, of course, you have to unhook your radio if you have an aftermarket radio. If you have a stock radio, you don't have to go through any of this. But if you have an aftermarket radio, which most people probably do, you have to unhook it. So how to do that, you have to pull this dash bezel off. So you have to put your key in the ignition. You have to drop the gear shifter all the way down to first gear. And you want to pull this dash piece off. So all you have to do is just slide it out like so. And then you can put this back up, put that back where you want it, take your keys out of the ignition. Now, everything holding in your dash bezel should be the same as factory, 7mm screws, so we'll just pop those out. Okay, now we can pop this little bezel piece off of the radio. We'll set it over to the side, and then you actually want to get the whole harness unplugged from the factory harness. I made this mistake the first time and I just unplugged the harness from the radio thinking that was all I needed to do, and I was wrong. You actually have to unplug this entire harness right here. So simple as that. Everything's now unplugged. You can just shove this back in there for the time being, and we will start loading the tune. Make sure I'm going to be driving. I don't want this to fall out while I'm driving. Okay, well, it wants to be a pain in the butt. I'll just pull the whole thing out. Simple as that, right? There we go. Let's pull the whole radio out. It wants to be aggravating and not go back in. We'll just pull it out for the time being. So now to load our custom tune. So this tuner right here is the Diablo Sport i3 in tune tuner. And I bought mine off Amazon because honestly it was cheaper on Amazon than it was on their website, which doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, always did a better deal. We're gonna plug our little plug right here into the OBD2 port. When we do that, we see it turns on. Turn the ignition on. Okay, the Diablo Sport Entune is designed to increase vehicle performance and fuel economy. Never use the Entune during vehicle operation. Do you agree with these terms? Yes. Okay, so we want to tune the vehicle. It is in the run position, but it is not started. I'm going to do restore backup, so it'll load the stock tune back on this truck. Yes, restore the original backup. So what this is doing is, my truck has already been tuned. Like I said, it has the 87 octane, just a base tune on it. But I want to, for video purposes, put my stock tune from factory tune back on it. So it doesn't have the tire size, it doesn't have the gear ratio, and we're going to see if we can drive it with the gears it has. I don't know how that works. Like I said, I tuned this the day I picked it up after having my gears installed. So I don't know if I can drive with the gears, but I guess we'll find out. And if I can't, we'll just put the gears in the tuner and we'll leave the tire size alone and try driving it that way, just for video purposes. Please turn ignition off. Continue. Please turn ignition on, but do not start. Continue. Okay, so our stock tune is completely back on. Let's go for a test drive and see how well this works. Okay, so we have the truck started, and don't worry about service brake system or check engine light. Service brake system is my ABS module, and the check engine light will come back on. It is my Cadillac converters. I have a blown out cat, so nothing I can do about that. But we're going to try driving this and see what it does. Now I'm gonna go out onto Main Street in Mexico and do a solid pull for you guys and see what it's like. Okay guys, and as you guys can tell, we are in Mexico. So let's do a solid pull. As you can see, we're not moving. We'll try and get to 60 or 70, whatever it takes us to. Everybody, we are back home, and as you guys saw, we did a little, I think it was like 0 to 70 or 80 pull, and now we're back at the house. We're gonna put the 93 tune on it, and we're gonna go do the same thing. I had to shut off the camera because I forgot my tailgate was down, and there was a pole saw and a fender in the back of my truck that I almost lost when I did that pull, because I got so focused on doing the video for you guys, I kind of forgot that it was back there. So I had to instantly shut off the camera and pull over and, you know, make sure everything was still secure, everything was still there, come back home and unload it. But now we're going to be putting on the new tune, so our new tune vehicle. He is in the run position. And if you aren't doing what this is saying to do, it won't load. It'll sit here and say, please wait, please wait, please wait, like it is now. It will not load. When I first did my tuning, and if you wanted to watch that video, you can. It's a Diablo Sport tuner. It's my review on it. But when I first did this, I spent probably an hour just sitting here waiting on it. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't loading. And it's because I hadn't unplugged this plug back here off my radio. I just had unplugged the harness out of my radio, thinking that was it. But I actually had to unplug every part of the radio out of the truck. So we're going to do advanced tune. We're not setting up anything crazy. Okay, so first we have to install a standard tune. Okay, so it's gonna do a backup of the stock tune first. It puts it on here, that way if you ever want to go back to your stock tune, you can just put it right back on here. but it has to do this before you can do any type of advanced tuning. So we'll wait on this. I'll skip through all the boring steps, and then I'll pick you guys back up once this is all taken care of. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to go into modify parameters. We're going to do our wheel size, which is your tire size. So we're going to put in 37. We're going to enter that and save that. And then we're going to do axle ratio. And you can change this to whatever axle ratio you have. I have 456s in my truck. So of course I'm going to put this to 456. Save. Okay, so now we have those two things changed. And then we're going to apply tune. So now those parameters are being added to our truck. So the 456 gears and the 37s. And I apologize if my phone going off in the background, but that's what's being loaded onto the truck now is the 37-inch tires and the 456 gears, because that's going to help with our speed limiter. It's going to help with how many miles we go, because if you have a bigger size tire, you may know that your overall circumference of the tire is different for how many rotations it makes. So it throws your mileage off, it throws your miles per gallon off, it throws your speed off, it throws all of that off, so that affects your miles per gallon and such on from there. So when you correct the correct tire size, it can now track it properly. It can adjust when to shift and your speed according to your tire size. And when you change your gear ratio, it's kind of the same thing. So that's why I like doing this. And then we're going to go back in after this and apply the 93 octane tune to the truck. Okay, now that we have this back up, we're on the tuned vehicle like normal. Remember, our parameters are set for 37s and 456s, or whatever is in your case, whether it be 33s, 35s, 38s, 40s, whatever it might be in your case, do the same thing. So now we're going to easy tune. It has already preloaded tunes, so we're going to do the 93 octane tune, because that's what gas I'm running in this truck. And it'll tell you the Diablo tune is designed to add power and torque, but with fuel economy in mind. Fuel mileage can always be subject to driving style and may vary from vehicle to vehicle. Use selected tune, yes. Previous tune contained modified parameters. Reset those parameters, no. Change gear ratio, yes. So Diablo tune with modified gear ratio, yes. 456, save. Apply selected tune with tire size, gear ratio, and speed limiter as selected, yes. So now our correct tire size, our correct gear ratio, and I took the speed limiter off of the truck because, I mean, when I go to Mexico with the boys, I want to be able to go over 100. So we took the speed limiter off the truck. You can do that. That is up to you. That might void your warranty. Also, tuning your vehicle may void your warranty. Always check the fine print with things like this. I own this truck. There's no type of warranty on it, so I'm not too worried about it, but it might be different in your case. So like last time, we're going to let this load through. We're going to do the key cycles, and then I'll pick you guys back up. Okay, so now the new tune is loaded on the truck. Like I said, I'm going to drive back out to Mexico. We're going to do a little pull and see what type of differences it made. We're not moving. And we're going. Okay, so we're gonna pull over. I got a car coming right here, and we'll do a second pull, but this time you guys can just watch it on the phone. The phone's gonna be a little bit behind, but I'll try and go back and forth. Dead stop. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of tuning gas trucks. I'll do another side-by-side comparison of not tuned versus tuned, and it's not going to be a major change. What I noticed majorly with tuning my truck was miles per gallon, and it got a little bit more low-end torque. It took off harder and it got up to speed a lot quicker, but it's not like you're camming and turboing and doing a cold shot of nitrous on the motor or anything. You're just a handheld tune, and like everyone knows, diesels tune a lot better than gas trucks because you're able to adjust a whole lot more things. And you can get custom tunes for these, so if you want to get in contact with someone that does custom tuning, you can have a custom tune downloaded on the Diablo Sport handheld tuner, so you can do a whole lot bigger wide span of different things to these trucks. But I wanted to do a little comparison of side by side. I knew I had to take all this apart to tune for the 37s anyways, so I figured it would make a lot more sense to make this video of not tuned versus tuned and see if it is a big difference and see if it can help a lot of you guys out, because I know a lot of people have asked me that question: did tuning it actually make a big difference? And it's not drastic like if I said if you were turboing it or throwing like a supercharger or anything on it, but it does make a big difference. Before I had tuned my truck, I was getting about 10 miles per gallon on 35s. Now on 37s, I get 12 miles per gallon tuned with 456 gears. The gears helped a big part in that, but so did tuning. Before I even had my gears done with tuning, I gained about almost a whole mile per gallon. And a lot of it depends on how you drive. If you drive everywhere like you're doing 80 mile an hour pulls everywhere you go, you're gonna get really bad gas mileage. But if you try to stick to your shift points being around 2,000 to 2,500 RPMs, you're gonna get pretty good gas mileage. So that's all that really goes into it. Hopefully this answers any questions you have, and if you have any other questions, don't be afraid to drop them down below. I'll try and answer everything I can to the best of my knowledge, but I'm not a professional with this, guys. A lot of this I am learning just like a lot of you are, but I have a little bit more equipment to learn with. Like I've already bought the handheld tuner, so I can practice different things. I can try and research on some different forums and see if there's some parameters that I can change to help the truck out. But when I originally did a tune, I did an 87 octane tune. I did a 93 octane tune with this one. I'm hoping to get a little bit better gas mileage, but with the 87 octane tune, I was getting 12 miles per gallon. So we'll see if the 97 or the 93 octane tune changes anything, and if it does change drastically, I'll update you guys in future videos. But if it's just like 0.3 miles per gallon, that's not big enough change to really worry about it. But I know the 93 octane tune is probably gonna help my truck run a little bit better, probably keep things a little bit cleaner. So that's kind of why I did it, because I want this truck to run great for the rest of its life. I want it to be very well taken care of. There's a lot of things I would still like to do to this truck, and if it's not running good, there's no point doing them. So I got to keep this thing in pristine condition. By doing that, I'm going to give it the best treatment it can get. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, drop a comment down below. Let me know like what you would want to see. If you want to see different tuning, if you want to see different horsepower things, drop them down below. Let me know. Make sure you give this video a like. It really helps me out. It lets YouTube know that you guys do like my videos, and it will recommend more of my videos to not only you but to other people, and we can grow the family that I have now here on YouTube. So thank you all for all the support that I get, and remember, go down, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.